Hi, I'm Akaash Maharaj. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Equine Canada. Equine Canada is Canada's national comprehensive governing body for equestrianism. We serve as Canada's National Association for Breeders and Breed Registries. We serve as Canada's National Confederation for Provincial Equestrian Associations. We act as the voice for Canadian recreational riders to the federal government, and we are the executive arm of Canada's Olympic, Paralympic and national equestrian teams. Accordingly, we also set and uphold the rules for the national competitive system and license the stewards, coaches and other officials who make competition in Canada possible. It's an extraordinarily ambitious mandate for one organisation, which in part reflects the fact that our founders and we are fundamentally crazy, but it also reflects the conviction that all of us as horse people, in all of our fractious differences, are united by a shared passion for the horse, and that in the long term we can only succeed together or we will certainly fail apart. Speaking personally, I came to Equine Canada through a rather eccentric route. I've represented Canada in the sport of tent pegging, which, despite its name, has nothing to do with tents and very little to do with pegs. It's an FEI equestrian sport which involves a rider riding at a full gallop across a cross-country field that may be strewn with all manner of immovable and smouldering objects, and wielding sword, sabre, lance and sometimes pistol to strike, slice, skewer, poke, shoot, julienne or otherwise destroy a series of targets. But perhaps less said about tent pegging the better. The reason I'm here today is that this is the first in a series of videos that Equine Canada will be producing to better communicate with our current and future members, as well as the public at large, to explain what the National Federation is doing and what some of the basic challenges and most important challenges will be facing the equestrian sector in Canada and internationally in the coming months and years. More importantly still, however, these videos are meant to give you, as prospective or actual members of Equine Canada, an opportunity to become more involved in the governance of the Federation and to demand higher standards of accountability in the governance of our sector. Last year, 2008, was a tremendously exciting period for Canadian equestrians. In China, our Olympic and Paralympic teams brought home 2 gold and 2 silver medals. This was our best showing in the entire 112-year history of the modern Olympic movement, and heralds what we all hope will be the start of a new golden age of Canadian equestrianism. But as exciting as 2008 will be, I really do believe that 2009 and 2010, building upon those successes, will be more exciting still. From the perspective of breeds and industry, we have been working with the federal government on their efforts to come up with an equine ID program that will help trace and provide identification for the entire national Canadian herd. This will provide Canadian horse people and Canadian horses with greater protection in the event of an outbreak of disease. It will also give Canadian horse people and horses guaranteed access to international markets, and Equine Canada is committed to working closely with the federal government during what will inevitably be one of the most significant developments in equine agriculture in recent memory. We are committed to ensuring that the interests of Canadian horses and Canadian horse people are fully protected as Canada moves towards implementation of ID, and that our interests are not compromised in the international discussions which tend to go on over these things. From the perspective of recreation, we have recently completed Horse Week, which is a coast-to-coast-to-coast celebration of equestrianism in Canada. Horse people and horse organizations create and host events across our country in celebration of the horse in a period which, despite the name Horse Week, lasts about 2 weeks. This year we had 16,000 participants, and we hope that for 2010 the number will be higher still. From the perspective of our relationship with our provincial associations and the business practices of Equine Canada, we have been and will be implementing a series of modernization and reform initiatives that will ensure that our business practices are up to date and that we are serving our members, current and future, more efficiently, more effectively, faster and at lower cost. To give you a single example, this year we instituted for the first time the opportunity for our members to purchase sport licenses online. In the first month of operation, the number of people who received their horse licenses accurately and on time was up 2,116% over the previous year. That was our first initiative. We have a lot more in store, and we are fully committed to carrying through with them. From the perspective of sport, 2010 will see the World Equestrian Games held in the New World for the first time. They'll be held in Kentucky, and because it's the first time that WEG will be held on this side of the Atlantic, it will be the first time that Canada will be able to send a full equestrian team for all the FAI disciplines to the World Equestrian Games. WEG is the very apex of equestrian sport around the world, and coming out of the last Olympics, Canada placed third in equestrian sport amongst all nations. We hope to do still better at the World Equestrian Games next year. If you're interested in participating, I hope you will. If you're an athlete who hopes to represent Canada on one of our national teams, I'm sure we'll be seeing a great deal of you. If you are a Canadian fan who would like to support our team, you'll be able to do so by purchasing teamwear from our new online store that will display your support for our team, and which will provide our teams with some financial support to ensure that our team members only have to worry about their performance on the field of honor rather than worry about how they're going to get there. As well, we have a new contest called Win Your Way to WEG. Win Your Way to WEG is an opportunity for anyone who is interested in saying something inspiring, edifying, or personally humiliating to create a video doing just that. Videos are uploaded to our website. Canadians and indeed people around the world will be able to vote on their favorite choices, and if you say the most inspiring thing or humiliate yourself to the greatest extent, your video may be chosen. If so, you will be Equine Canada's ambassador to WEG and will have almost a fully expense-paid trip to WEG, tickets to some of the events, and an opportunity both to support our teams and to act as an ambassador for our teams to the wider world. More importantly than all of this, however, is that we hope that 2009 and the march towards 2010 will provide a new spirit within Equine Canada and equestrianism across our country. Through initiatives such as this, we would like to become more engaged with our members, to have more members involved in the equestrian sector, to have more Canadians have the opportunity for a horse experience, and to ensure that our sector is governed in a way that stands up to public scrutiny. We will be publishing a series of videos like this, explaining in greater depth some of the activities that I've already described, and some new initiatives which will be coming about in the months to come. If there are issues that you feel particularly strongly about and wish to see expanded on one of these videos, please visit our website, equinecanada.ca, and let us know. Ultimately, Equine Canada is a member-driven organization. We exist solely for the purpose of serving our members' interests and advancing the cause of equestrianism in Canada. We can only do this, and we can only do this in a way that stands up to public scrutiny, if we have more members of our organization involved in making the federation their federation, making it your federation. Looking back on what it is we have achieved as a federation and looking forward on what we would like to achieve, I'm conscious of the fact that Equine Canada and indeed all Canadian equestrians stand in the posterity of 6,000 years of history, 6,000 years of equestrians, of men and women involved in the horse sector, and indeed involved in a sector that has done perhaps more than anything other than the taming of fire or the invention of the wheel to advance the human condition. I recognize that if we are to be deserving heirs to those people and worthy stewards to the generations to come, we as Canadians and as equestrians have an obligation to try to leave the equestrian sector in Canada and internationally better, howsoever modestly, than the way we found it. We are committed to doing so. We know that we can only do so if we are fully engaged with our members, and with your help, I hope that we will do precisely that. Thank you.